Welcome back to XP Grind. We're coming at you today with a little bit of a more chill episode, not something as structured as the other ones. It'll be a little bit before we all get through our games for the month, so we decided, let's just catch up on some news, talk about some upcoming games, just whatever kind of off the cuff conversation your gamers who game have feel like bringing up to you today. So, if you want to start out, I've got a couple of like news story type items I thought we could maybe have an interesting discussion about, or we could just kind of get into, you know, personal, what we've been gaming on, what we've been doing, what we're looking forward to. What are you feeling, Big Henny?
Well, what I want to talk about first, real quick, is actually something that's just in my own life. Because, we're kind of doing this little shop talk kind of podcast as well. I quit vaping. That's been good.
I also did that as well.
Yeah. I feel overall a lot better, but something hit me today where I just wanted to buy something to smoke or like vape, cigarettes or whatever. So I'm kind of going through the ringer right now, but I just thought I'd just throw that little update out because even with their previous episodes, I was like, gosh, this fucking guy's vaping on camera. We got to cut that out. So I feel overall pretty good that I'm not vaping, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that input in there. But I finished Pokemon, but we will get to all of that in episode 4. So, but I got a lot of PS1 and PS2 games I'm excited to play, but that'll be something later in the future as well. So, go to my Twitch stream to see more, if you know what I mean.
Damn, there it is already. Man, you give me shit for hitting the like off rip promo, and you're just like really laying it on thick today.
Well, I have a hat that's actually your merchandise, so it gives me the pass. I can say whatever I want wearing this, actually.
I have a shirt that's got the same thing on it.
Yeah.
Under my turtleneck.
See, now what you don't want me to do is say really bad things while I wear this hat.
Oh, no.
Make you look bad.
Don't do that. No. Fuck.
So, but yeah, man. But yeah, I'm excited for where this podcast is going to be going. But I guess before we should we just throw this out there first? Kind of the reformat change we're going into the future of the podcast based off of like the previous 2 episodes. We do have a change that's going to be coming up.
Yeah, we can get into it. I didn't know if it was like a whole thing we needed to do, like a formal announcement or work to address, but yeah, go ahead and lay it out for us, Big Henny.
So recently, with the past 2 episodes, we were doing the format of one person recommends a game to 2 others and vice versa. And that was due to us not playing too many games in 1 month. So it was just 2 games per release of the episode, and then we would review the games that way. So one person would recommend or would review the game the 2 recommended, and the 2 would be reviewing one game that the one person recommended. So review inconsistencies were happening while that was going through, and to keep it all just like a level playing field, the best way for us to start reviewing games is if all of us go into one video game per episode that either all of us go blind into, which would be the best option, but there's playroom if somebody's played a game before, it'll still be counted. Because we don't want to leave games out specifically if that was the case, if somebody did play it before. So
yeah, I think also like, especially if it's something like you haven't played in a long time, like from your childhood or something that you kind of want to revisit anyway. I feel like that's still in the spirit of the project and everything like that.
Exactly. So just wanted to give that just small PSA out there before we just continued with this episode, just because that will probably be a thing in episode 5 because Jabin still has his game. He's going to recommend to me and user, and that needs to happen first. So episode 4 will be that format. Episode 5 will be our clean slate moving forward of how this podcast operates. So just, yeah, that's our little update from the podcast itself. But Jabin, what are your thoughts? Like, is that like something you like?
Yeah, I definitely like the sound of that format. I mean, I kind of like that idea from the beginning because I think that was something that we considered before we even started things, and I think it'll be nice that we'll all be playing the same thing instead.
Yeah, and
Gives us a little more to talk about too, I feel.
I think so too. Like I feel like if all of us play the same game, there's a lot more dissection going into the game. So yeah,
it's recent in everybody's mind. So
exactly.
Yeah. And it's also, you know, it's more in line with what like an actual book club type of experience is about. So, I mean, I like the idea. Like, I like the recommendation component. You know, I'm sad to see it go, but I love to watch it walk away. You know what I'm saying, Big Henny?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see that. Well, hey, you know, we can have the guests do that for us because whenever we have guests in the future, they're going to be recommending us the games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hopefully, I mean, we're not gonna say who might be the first one because we don't know if we're getting a yes or a no. Kind of a yes so far, but there's some scheduling stuff. So that we'll play that one by ear. But
yeah,
so it's not completely going away. But hey, I mean, I like how you worded that though.
Yeah, sometimes there's like old, I don't know, you know, lately like we've been saying you got hell on your hands, or you know, that's the kind of greed they talk about in the Bible. There's just sometimes like an expression or a saying, even as, you know, one that's like old timey, like familiar. You know, you heard your like uncle in the shop working on his car singing some shit like that. You know, sometimes it just worms its way back in your brain, and that's one for me. I think I've said that I hate to see something go, but I love to watch it walk away like 5 times this week. And it's not in like the pervy way that the expressions normal. I'm talking about like a video game, or I'm talking about like a car, or you know, something like that. But
hey, man, all I'm saying is the shit my uncle was saying in the shop should not be repeated.
No, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I like that, man. So you got some news articles prepared for us?
Yeah, I don't want to take over too fast. Let's. We haven't heard a ton from Javin here. Javin, what you been gaming on, buddy? Besides, you know, Pokemon for this podcast, what you been cooking up?
Well, there's that. But I mean, really, man, all I've honestly been doing is playing RuneScape. So nothing's really changed. Well, that and you know, with like Counter Strike with Colton and Amira as well.
How long have you been playing RuneScape?
I mean, this latest spurt, I guess, has been like 5 or 6 months. But I mean, I've played this game for a couple years now.
Oh,
So
okay.
not as long as a lot of people have, honestly.
Yeah, Jerry and Cole keep trying to get me into it. I beat Tutorial Island and I never revisit the game. So that's why I was curious where like you've stuck with it long, like way better than every time I've tried to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard game to get into. You gotta kind of enjoy just the grind because it is a lot of just waiting and that sort of stuff. So
Okay.
I just like progression games, so that's a lot of it for me.
You like
That's why
seeing
we
that
got so
number
into
go up.
like Scritchy Scratchy, like that.
Yeah,
That game was great for that reason. Like
that was.
I mean, you
Shit,
got
I'm
something
still plugging
guaranteed
away
to
at
play.
RuneScape?
What'd you say?
Like, sorry, we talked over each other. I was just saying, like, you got something guaranteed to play every time with if you're a RuneScape player. You can just hop on that shit whenever you want, and it's never going to be completed or go away.
Pretty much. Yep.
Oh yeah, man.
I never could quite get into RuneScape either. I played a little bit like when I was a kid, but mostly I would play RuneScape like when my mom was like, we can't do World of Warcraft subscription this month. You know what I mean? It was like that was
Yeah.
like the backup. That was the backup. But
Man,
yeah, definitely not in any. I'm pretty sure the last time I played RuneScape was Obama's first term, if I had to guess.
Yo. I mean, I think I was in the 8th grade when that happened. So what?
Obama's
Around that
first
time.
term, you were not in 8th grade.
7th grade.
Or
I was
you
in the
mean-
I was in the 7th grade. I was a year
Oh,
old.
you mean like the end of it? Because that would have been 20. The first term would have ended in 2012, right?
Oh, I
think
thought you
you're
were
right, yeah.
when he. Oh, you said the end of his first term.
No, I just mean that's like when the range is 2008 to 2012. That's when the range
I was like
is.
2008. Yeah, I was a 7th
Yeah.
grader. Yeah, that's where
That's-
my brain was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, I forget you're older than me sometimes. I was thinking like, damn, I was like,
Yeah,
He's older than me.
yeah.
bro. I remember my family thought the world was ending when he came into president, bro. The Republican Baptist household.
Yep.
And it was just like, oh, good lord, a Democrat's in president, bro. And then, I mean, I remember, dude, it was weird because in the 4th grade, I remembered my parents being like, we can't have that Al Gore, bro, in the office. I don't know, just weird memory.
Yep. Well, I mean, we kind of got into some news adjacent stuff there, but getting into some actual gaming news, I got two kind of stories here. I think that could be some interesting discussion fodder for the podcast today. The first one, and this one is hot off the presses. This happened today, to my understanding. The U.S. Patent Office revokes Nintendo's patent on summoning characters to make them battle. Did y'all hear about this?
No.
I did not.
Did you hear about them trying to patent that like last year?
Yeah.
Or yeah. So it looks like they tried to patent it, and then the U.S. Patent and Trade Office has rejected all 26 claims in the patent, completely revoking it. This is a non-final decision. Important to note, Nintendo now has 2 months to respond, or longer if it asks for an extension, and there can be an appeal made to the federal circuit if it doesn't agree with the decision. So this isn't the end of things, but it's a good first step. This was always horseshit from the jump. I mean, Pokemon is not the first game to use like monster battling, like catching mechanics by any stretch of the imagination, and it's such like a basic thing that you can do so much other stuff with that it's nonsense that this was even a consideration in the first place, to be honest.
I don't like when gaming companies want to abuse the patent system, because what I want to say is patents aren't a terrible thing. I think some gaming companies should patent things to protect the use case for other game development teams to use those practices like whenever, right? But in this scenario, like Pokemon is literally trying to patent a summoning use case mechanic in a game, and like it wasn't specific with like a ball to capture a creature as well.
I don't know if it was a ball. My understanding was it was very broad. It was like you use an item to restrain a monster or creature of some kind, and then you use that item to release them to fight under your control against another creature. It was like a very basic.
Yeah. Okay. But to gatekeep this game mechanic so other people can't use it or apply it is, I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like it's just crazy to like why restrict creative use, I guess. Like it's so wild to own a creative use thing. Like yes, they were the first to do this, but like you were saying, Pokemon's not the only company to apply this to their games.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is they weren't even the first. I mean, like Shin Megami Tensei, the series that like would go on to become Persona, there were NES titles in that series, and you would recruit demons that had elemental affinities and learn different elemental abilities that were strong or weak against each other, and you would recruit them to battle for you. You know, that's the same type of business. I believe the first Dragon Quest Monsters game, maybe, I don't know if it came out before or not, but like there's other examples of like series that have done this, and like each of them finds ways to put their own unique spin on it and like make it, I don't know. I obviously, I think you should be able to trademark Pikachu, but you should not be able to trademark the RPG combat battle system as nonsense.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
It's a very monopolistic like attempt.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, like, for example, I mean, fact check me on this, but I believe Bandai Namco has the patent for interactable loading screens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that. I don't even need to look that up.
So only Bandai like I didn't even know that was a thing at all. Like when I played Budokai 2 and you could spin the little man around on the load screen, I was like, "Oh, I've never seen this before in a video game ever. Why don't every other company do this?" Oh, it's because they own the patent to do
They
so.
legally can't.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Just like Warner Bros has the revenge system for Shadow of Mordor.
Yep.
Mm.
And it sucks. I think the bar, in my opinion, the bar to trademark a like gameplay mechanic should literally be almost feasibly impossible. Like you would have to do such a specific way of interacting with it, like because you can't trademark like an RPG system, right? That's anybody can make a game with stats and turn-based combat, whatever. But you could maybe convince me of like, all right, we have a system called this and we use it like maybe, but even that is just mechanical stuff. That is so like creatively restricting on the industry. It's just bad. Like me and Big Henny were on the phone earlier today before the podcast, and we were talking about this like Yu-Gi-Oh fan game that Jab, and I think you would also talk to him about that looks like really interesting.
Yeah.
But we were talking about like, man, as people come along, fans like make this cool stuff, and then Big Daddy Nintendo or Konami or whoever, they just have the power to come in and like shit all over this, and it's like, why is that the response? I get why the response is they want to make money. They don't want people playing a Yu-Gi-Oh game that's not a Yu-Gi-Oh game. But you have millions of dollars and thousands of employees who could be put to task to make a great Yu-Gi-Oh game or a great Pokemon game or a great whatever, to get people to spend that money and to play that game and to invest in your product like with that attention. And the fact that like somebody's coming in, and the fact that the market is wanting this Yu-Gi-Oh fan game or whatever the thing is not an indictment on them or on but it's an indictment on you, because you haven't made the thing to satisfy the customer. And you're a business. That's your number one responsibility. If you're dropping the ball on that, ain't nobody to blame but yourself. And so like this, to me, it's some snake behavior to try and patent shit just to like, it's like, make a good game. You can't be patenting, trying to keep other people from making a damn game to keep your competition, skewed in your advantage. Just make a good fucking game, bro. That's what it's all about.
Because with that fan service game, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh maybe twice in my life, and I'm playing that game when it comes out for beta testing. Like that's how fun this game looks. Yeah, I mean, open world MMO, not MMO, but like it's like huge lobbies that you can just run around town with, see people battling on the streets, customize your character, customize your bikes and your vehicles that you could drive around the city. Like it looks crazy. Individual assets built into every card that's played. It like projects a little character of the card, and there's attack animations and like the game is crazy looking for just one guy outsourcing a bunch of people to like do designs and asset work for him, and he just puts it all together once he does that. I'm excited to see what it looks like. But yeah, Jabin, you remember when we were watching that video together? What were your thoughts on that game?
I mean, I think the game looks really sick. I've always enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I suck at the card game though. But I mean, something like that came out and it was fun and had like reason to play it and stuff. Like I definitely would take the chance to learn the game and probably play through that medium because it is just a really cool concept and it's much more like the show than any Yu-Gi-Oh game has ever been, honestly. So
Okay. Yeah, because I never watched the show either. So throwing that
You
out
never
there.
watched the Yu-Gi-Oh anime? Dude, I
Baptist
used to watch the
household.
shit out of. That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they
those
got
scary
demons
demon
in that.
creatures.
Yep, they got demons in that cardboard. You can't have that in the house.
Because, bro, like, I had the Save Session Boys on my stream like 2 weeks ago. One of those guys was my brother's buddy when we were kids. My brother had a birthday party and he got a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards for his birthday that year. And my mom was like, nah, get this demon shit out of my house. Then I saw
Dang.
TJ's face light up because he's like, oh, I got all these cards now. I'm like, rip Adam. That sucks. There's like, I mean, do you know a good example of a use case with a patent to like protect something?
I mean, I think patenting hardware, there's something there. I mean, I'm pretty low on like I'm a very, I think like fair use for like parody laws and for like making like if I've got like, bro, there's no reason if I've got 8 seconds of your song because it fits like the situation in the video I'm making, like that I should have all of my ability to make money from it removed from me because I have 8 seconds of your song. That's nonsense. Like I think a lot of like patent law in general I'm against. I think it's like I think what patents sort of aim to protect is like it's like a symptom of a larger issue rather than like an actual like solution to a problem. But that being said, like yeah, I can imagine like certain things that like somebody could like reasonably have an idea for some kind of system or something in their game that like did not restrict other people's ability to like make games in the same genre, but like protected the integrity of their franchise or whatever that they had made. I could absolutely see a case where that, occurred. It's just not what we're seeing with this Pokemon thing. It's like it's taken like because if they wanted to be like we are patenting Pokeballs, yeah, absolutely. Like you made up with that shit like a little orb, with a different colored design that like scoops the creature up and digitizes it and puts it in there or whatever. Perfect. Yeah, you got it. That's yours. Go hog wild. But like to try and take it back to like where a game like I mentioned Persona earlier, where like now we're talking like if you use a tarot card to summon a creature, like you do in Persona 4. Well, is that too close? Like that, there should be no room for discussion. Those games are, besides the very surface level thing of they both have a creature collecting kind of component to them, those games couldn't be further apart. There's no idea stealing or like, infringement to be seen. And so I think the courts definitely made the right decision on this one. Let's just hope that, as those next steps come, like I said, it's not over yet. There's still appeals and stuff that can happen, but let's just hope that it keeps on going that way.
Got you.
Nintendo's so upset that Pal World still exists, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, bro, they're so upset they damn near turned the starters from Gen 10 into pals themselves. That shit looks straight out of Pal World, bro. I can't believe it. I saw
Bro.
that. I was like, this is unreal.
I
This is a
mean,
mod for Pal World somebody made.
one of the starters is literally just a red Pomeranian. It's a dog. Straight up. Like, I don't know. Like it's not really
Well, and that's the most original one of them. That's the thing about it to me, is that that's the most original one out of them, because the others, we've literally had a grass bird starter before. We've literally had like like an emotional water lizard starter before. We've had those things before.
yeah.
In starter Pokemon in very recent generations, in 7 and 8
Yeah.
specifically. So Yeah, these little freaks. I just couldn't believe it when I saw them. Couldn't believe it.
I've got a little story here for you guys that happened. I think this news broke maybe sometime middle last week. This is kind of going into like maybe a bigger discussion as well. I'm curious what your guys' opinions are. Um, when Crimson Desert was launched, there were some gamers who caught AI artwork inserted into the video game, as in the actual paintings in the buildings of the video game were just AI artwork, AI generated pieces of artwork.
Hmm.
And a lot of people got a big rise out of this. And Crimson Desert here has a tweet here responding to the criticism. We would like to address questions regarding the use of AI in Crimson Desert. During development, some 2D visual props were created as part of early stage iteration using experimental AI generative tools. These assets helped us rapidly explore tone and atmosphere in the early phases of production. However, our intention has always been for any such assets to be replaced, following final work and review by our art and development teams, with work that aligned with our quality standards and creative direction. Following reports from our community, we have identified that some of these assets were unintentionally included in the final release. This is not in line with our internal standards, and we take full responsibility for it. We also acknowledge that we should have clearly disclosed our use of AI. While these tools were primarily used during early production with the expectation that these assets would be replaced prior to release, we recognize that this does not excuse the lack of transparency. We sincerely apologize for these oversights. How big of a deal is this?
Uh, Obviously, some paintings that you probably are not going to pay too much attention to on the walls of your action RPG. It's not this individual thing. These paintings on the wall are not a big issue, right? But I think the larger issue, the more interesting part, besides just the irony of like, and you pointed this out when we were talking about, including this as a segment in the podcast, but the fact that they are paintings on the wall that like are in universe human art creations that are replaced with AI slop is very, very funny.
Yeah.
It's very ironic. But no, I think it's more, I think this is where the real important like meat on the bone is to me is like the disclosure of the AI in the, in the process of it. Like I know Steam is requiring that, and like whether you like feel it's like the same as AI generating other parts of your game or not, like that is a piece of the game that you have used. And I went to film school, and when we were doing like editing classes and stuff, um, they used to warn us about like, hey, if you're like editing this, they're like, don't edit your sequence to a song that like you don't have the right like. If you're like trying to edit it and you're trying to match like the rhythm of like, you want to use some pop song or something, you want to be a little Scorsese with your edits and stuff, don't do that, because in the process of like editing the sequence to that song, it's like, yeah, well, I'll just use this as a placeholder, and then I'll get like, I'll get my buddy to write up a song or whatever. You like make all the decisions about how it should look and how it should flow and everything to that song specifically, and then you can't see it without that song there, if that makes sense. And so it's sort of the same thing with this, where like I almost like think instead of AI generating this artwork, like you should just have somebody literally get an MS Paint and fucking draw like guy standing smugly in the corner, like that. You should just do that, like Slay the Spire's temporary
Placeholder.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, the placeholder art in that. It's like, because then that, hey, we have to go back and do that because that looks shitty.
Because there's
like,
a stick figure on the wall. Yeah.
There's a difference
whereas,
there, though. There's a
what's
difference
that?
there, though, because Slay the Spire 2 is, I mean, it's an early access game.
Mhm.
Crimson Desert released as a full-fledged title on every console. So
Yes, but if what I'm saying is if you do the draw, like, because when did they let's believe their story that they AI generated the paintings on the wall, right? And they were there for so long that they forgot about them and just like didn't go back to replace them or whatever. We're talking what, it's been several months at the very, it's been 3 maybe 6 months or something that this art's just been sitting there, that they've been working on the game doing other shit. It's like, yeah, there's bigger fish to fry. You're doing a full release for a video game. There's hours and hours of crunch time. Like, I'm not trying to say it's easy, but what I am saying is if you put in some AI art that looks like you just become blind to it eventually. You're like, you don't even think about it when it's on the wall because it looks just good enough to pass the test. You know what I mean? Where it's not distracting. But I'm saying that you won't forget to go back and do it. If you got the MS Paint drawings on the wall in your fantasy castle, you're not gonna forget to go back and fix that. That's what I'm saying.
During your development phase and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they were trying to get away with it. It was just a walk back attempt.
See, that was
PR was so.
This is my question. Like, how honest do you think this tweet is? Like, do you think they're lying?
Not very.
Like, you think they're trying to get away with it, and they're like, yeah, we can just put AI art here and just bop, copy paste all over the city, and then they just got caught.
I would guess so, but I don't like to speculate on like intent and stuff in a way where it's like we don't necessarily have, like, I haven't done the research into the company and their historical uses of and what the CEO's saying about, like, I don't know all that shit. I don't know. I didn't know nothing about Black Desert Online. I didn't play Crimson Desert either. So it's like, you know, I can't make the, you know, 100%. I don't want to be, you know, accusing anybody. I don't want to be dropping allegations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this isn't the only example of this, is what I will say. I mean, look at Clair Obscur. The same exact thing happened, you know, with the like, you know, the like posters on the wall and Lumiere and stuff. And you know, they said the same thing, and like, I'm sort of inclined to believe them. Like when I read through their disclaimer, or like their press release on it, they were like, you know, we've been making this game for years, and when we start, you know, there was a different attitude about AI, and we were much more interested in like trying out this new technology. And I remember that summer when, you know, people first started getting access to like Stable Diffusion and stuff, and like generating shit. Like there's people who are extremely anti-AI now who are like having fun, just like, you know, Squidward smoking weed or whatever. Stable Diffusion, you know, it was a different time. So like, you know, what they said about it, whether you believe it or not, like, it made sense to me. I'm down with it. And then there was another game. Did either of you ever play The Alters, or have you heard of it?
I've heard of The Alters.
Yeah, that game's fucking sick, and it's an incredibly like well-made, like well-crafted, brilliantly designed game with a lot of fucking heart and soul put into it. And there's like a couple of placeholder AI textures that made it into the final game, and then people were like, this game's fucking, it's AI generated. And I think what people like, I think people are a little too quick to jump the gun. I'm not at all like an AI, you know, tech bro defender kind of guy. Don't be like, don't get it twisted. But what I will say is I think people are a little bit too quick to be like, hey, there's one little piece of this that is, you know, AI generated or whatever. And I'm not saying we should give it a pass, but what I'm saying is you've got a whole product to evaluate holistically. You've got something that thousands and thousands of people who like do make real art and put human effort and emotion and like experience into. They all worked on that. And maybe a couple of like, you know, maybe a concrete texture or a painting on the, like, maybe that doesn't reflect on the entire project that all these people have come together on, rather than like one person on the art team who was like, I'm going to do this for a minute just so that they're happy, and then I'll get back to it later. I fucking forgot. You know what I mean? Like, there's, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of some extremes here, and we need to bring the space of the discussion back to, like, in here a little bit.
Got you. I'll finish this tweet off here, just the last paragraph of the tweet. We are currently conducting a comprehensive audit of all in-game assets and are taking steps to replace any affected content. Updated assets will be rolled out in upcoming patches. In parallel, we are reviewing and strengthening our internal processes to ensure greater transparency and consistency in how we communicate with players moving forward. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious to how much placeholder stuff they had into the game. If that's kind of like their quote here, like, oh, maybe we had like more than just paintings, because the paintings was just the only example that I saw briefly. I didn't know if
Mhm.
there are any other examples that could have been involved with the game as well when it comes to just AI filler asset work or whatever. But um, sounds like they're on their mission to remove and uh,
Yeah,
replace it all with real assets that they have.
I think I
Um,
saw. I believe I just saw a Reddit post. Somebody saying it's already done. They have already updated and replaced it. When I was looking, doing some research on this as we were talking about it.
well, I mean, if the turnover's that quick, then it probably was just a genuine mistake. I mean, that's leaning more
Mhm.
towards their favor, unless they find something else. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I don't know.
can I say real quick though, Crimson Desert is not my bag of a video game. Looking at it, right? But what I
Hmm.
will say is, man, this year is rough for video game launches. Couple failures, not too much like player bases kind of going into games like High Guard or I think Marathon is doing a little okay. Like it's got an audience. I'm glad that Crimson Desert has just found an audience that people like it,
Hmm.
because the reviews are very like mixed. I'd say there's a lot of people that really fuck with it. There's a lot of other people that are like, uh, I don't know. I don't know what their critiques are, but they're basically just like not vibing with it. But it has some sort of audience, like it seems. The gaming practice, like moving into the future, it's I don't know. I'm kind of doom and gloom about it a little bit. It does seem like the only game I have been interested in are like kind of like these cheaper indie kind of games, or like there's Resident Evil 9, which I'm waiting to be discounted.
Hmm.
I don't know, like what so far this year, what are you guys thinking? Like, hopefully we get some more juice coming out later this year. I mean, I think we kind of had a little rough start for 2026 in my opinion, but I you guys might disagree with me. What are your guys' thoughts?
I feel like it's natural. I feel like in the movie industry, I went people talk about like the beginning of like basically January into February. They call it Dumpuary, and it's where like the studios put all the movies that they don't give a shit about, like you know the big movies. That's for summer holiday weekends and Christmas, or in the big horror stuff around Halloween, right? But like January, February, like we'll put the shit there that's like more kind of like B movie, less stuff we put less money into, stuff we expect less of a return on. Like that'll be when we release that type of stuff. Big stuff starts in blockbuster season, and video games kind of feel a bit like they operate. Like just think about last year, like how much shit came out in like quarter 3 of last year versus like the first couple months of that. I think that's just part of a natural cycle. Um, Honestly, I don't know like the release
Mm.
slate for what's coming up for the rest of the year. So like maybe this is just going to continue to be, you know, a bad year for games, and it's like Slay the Spire 2 and Resident Evil 9 is what we got. But
Last
you
year I
know,
remembered April and May being pretty good months. Um and then the fall is like multiple games coming out in the fall. Maybe summer is also just like, not too many people are gaming in the summer. That's why they don't release as much games in the summer. People are out doing
no,
stuff.
I'm saying it's the opposite. It's like end of
You
summer,
think
end
so?
of fall, because you gotta keep in mind like what single day do you think the biggest number of video game sales happen in a year? It's probably like Christmas, right?
Sure,
Or,
yeah.
like, it's like in around Christmas. Um, so like people are gonna. I think for the most part, obviously every game can't come out the week before Christmas. That would be nonsense. We can't do that. But I think the ideal, like the big stuff, I think they intentionally save for later in the year so that it's like maybe it's it comes out 3 months before so that they can have a big content update Christmas weekend and drop a 10% sale on it and move crazy numbers of copies or whatever. I think that's a reasonable kind of business strategy. But um,
Mm.
no, for me, there was like, I mean, shit, there was probably, I probably bought 20 games from July 1st to December 31st of last 25-30 games. Like it was way more, but for the beginning of the year, it's like I'm gonna catch up on the backlog, you know, and then I'm gonna play the games from the end of last year that I didn't get to either because it was so much shit coming out. So I always just feel like that's kind of the natural progression, you know. But Jabin, you got any big games coming up this year that you're stoked about?
Honestly, not that I can think of at the moment. I
Mm.
haven't really seen too much.
Yeah, that
Just been kind of enjoying going back and playing older games. So
Mm-hmm.
couple games from that PlayStation press conference we watched.
Yeah,
I'm a little
yeah,
excited.
there's some good looking stuff in there.
Curious about that Game Freak game that's coming out. They're making like is it an action RPG?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks a little soulsy, a little some.
Yeah, that one looks interesting. I am personally excited for Marvel Tokon. I feel like that's like the most exciting looking fighting game that's going to come. I think that's coming out in the summertime. So that'll get my fighting fix in. But yeah, I kind of forgot of just what game releases are coming out this year too. There's and that's kind of like the issue is like they all seem a little average to me, and there's a lot of them to where like a lot of them are forgetful. But
there's been some big stuff that like, I mean, it depends on the space you're looking at. If you're talking like AAA stuff that really gets you excited, I don't, you know, I think the only like big studio stuff that I don't even know what the fucking definition of a AAA is, to be honest with you. But like, as far as like big studio release games with like a lot of people who worked on them, that like kind of caught my attention this year. It's really only been like Code Vein 2 and Dragon Quest 7, which I mean that one doesn't really count because that's a remake of a PS1 game. But
Code Vein 2 is already out.
Yeah, I know that's. I'm saying games that have come out this year so far already.
Got you.
But because you were saying like you've been unimpressed, and I'm saying it depends on where you're looking. I feel like because the big studio release stuff, you know, there's not too much besides like those two games that I mentioned. But if you're talking like any kind of, you know, indie or smaller kind of dev team stuff, like, I mean, bro, we got Mugenics and Slay the Spire 2 this year. I mean, what more do you?
That's true.
like it's a pretty good year. I mean, just that's two titles. I also Esoteric Ebb. I had a lot of fucking fun with that game. I thought that was really dope, really creative game.
Pokemon Champions comes out here in 8 days, I believe.
Yep. And I was just about to move the conversation over to some. I was just going to look at some of these games that are coming up. But yeah, I'm stoked for that. I'm super stoked for Champions.
Should be a good time.
Yo, there's a new Nico Para game coming out April 14th. I mean, you get your cat girls going, bud.
Wait, what? How do you spell that?
Nekopara. We lost him, by the way, Jab. We're going to have to do this podcast, just you and me, for the rest of the episode.
I see Nico
turning off.
Atsume Kitty Collector. That's a mobile game. You know, you just drop me a link later or something.
Yeah, we'll do that.
They're on Steam. So if you just search on Steam, you'll find them on there.
Okay.
Good night. Anyway, though, but yeah, point being, all this to say, I don't know. I mean, I think every year, every industry, there's some doom and gloom that people do. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, there's more games getting released on Steam like every week than like have ever been released in history before that. And you know, does that mean that a lot of it is like AI slop, horrible, awful games? Yes, absolutely. It definitely 100% means that. But it also means there's a lot of chances for, you know, some new shit to surprise you, and that the industry's like, you know, grown and become more accessible for more voices to like have the chance to put something out there in the first place and everything. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm optimistic, but I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Sure.
Unless you got me playing Tony Hawk, but you know.
Bro can beat Melania, but he can't do an ollie.
Yeah, don't worry about me. We'll get to that next episode.
Man, I'm a drill into your ass on that edit.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be a diabolical hit piece on the channel.
So the other one, other piece of news Coming soon. The one other piece of news that I had um kind of set aside was, and I don't have like a specific article to read for y'all or anything, but just did you see like the Nvidia DLSS 5 announcement, and it's like got like 85% dislike ratio and shit.
Yeah, because like the faces and stuff.
Mm. I mean, where are you boys at with this?
I haven't looked too much into it. You want to go first, Jabin?
I mean, I don't know too much specifically about DLSS 5. I mean, I will say like I like DLSS like the current ones because it's like the amount of FPS boost that it gives you is crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
That's
can.
that's one place I like AI. Like AI is doing great things for that. The only problem is like it does make developers a lot more lazy and they don't have to optimize stuff, i.e. Borderlands 4. So
Yeah,
So what
yeah, I think.
somebody refresh me on DLSS 5.
So it's like Javin was saying, like an AI upscaling like technology that like I mean, look, man, this is all way above my pay grade
Sure.
on the explanation of how the technology works. I just know it uses AI to like essentially the goal is to keep like the file size of the game and the performance of the game, like the requirements down here, but have this AI technology essentially like upscale it on a different axis where it doesn't blow your fucking
Right.
computer up, but like lets it look like, a higher, you
the
know, higher
Right.
resolution, higher fidelity type of thing.
I can put it even like simpler. Pretty much what is happening is your computer is only generating half of the frames. So like it's only generating half the pixels that it normally would, and the other half are AI generated. So it
Mm.
takes a large load off of your GPU.
Okay, so I guess where I was meaning to go from was I was seeing like a couple clips of like people giving this a little bit of backlash, like, oh, just turn it off. It looks better with it off. Like,
Mm.
is there controversy in that? Like, I haven't read too much into it, but I guess some people are just like
Yeah.
not fucking with it.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is just the AI, like, this is another part of this sort of ongoing cultural, dialectical cycle that we're going on. Um, but I don't know. To me, it's like we're already seeing some issues like Javin has said with like Borderlands 4 with like poor optimization with because they're using this as a crutch. I don't know. I just I anytime you're telling me that AI is going to like alter the aesthetics of something, even if there's been a lot of promising back and forth about, well, it only uses notes essentially like in context that is provided by the people who made the game in the first place. Like it's only using information that they have like signed off to give to it. And so if it, whatever it changes and whatever it makes different, that's only making it more true to the artist's expression. It's like that's all bullshit, bro. And we fucking know that because like at the end of the day, anytime you alter anything about an image, you could be drastically changing the context and the feeling and the emotion of it. Like, I mean, if I just drew a smiley face for you right now, right? If I just put two little lines over, like downward lines over its eyes, you'd be like, that's not a smiley face anymore. That guy's angry. He hates me, just by putting some downward pointing eyebrows on a little, stick figure man. And like obviously that's a very like reductive example, but like all it takes is like one line being out of place or one line being added, one wrinkle in somebody's brow, one, whatever. And the whole like emotion of a scene can be changed. And so just purely from like a artistic, understanding and cultural like understanding perspective, I don't trust it. It doesn't pass that sniff test for me just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the move now with most PC gamers is to get the most expensive PC rig you can possibly get to play RuneScape.
Yep. I think you hit the nail on the head, buddy. I think you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's what Jabin. You have like the most powerful graphics card out of all of us, and you're like, "Yep." And
I have a
played that RuneScape
5070. It's like on par with yours.
with the 4070 Super.
You have a 4070 Super, yeah. They're pretty close.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
5070 might be a little better, but not noticeable difference probably.
I don't think I can do the DLSS stuff. I
You
don't.
can.
I can.
You 100% can.
Okay, I guess I'm just a caveman that doesn't know how to use it.
I mean, you don't
But-
need it for the stuff you play most of the time. So we're talking like AAA titles most of the time that possibly need it.
Okay. Well, man, I'll tell you what. I got so lucky getting this PC when I did early last year. I got 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM in the PC. I got gold in that thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God. I want to see how much my specific RAM sells for. But I mean, my PC just probably went up in value by $1,000 at least, right?
Definitely could have.
$1,000 might be a little bit of a stretch, but
I mean, I don't know.
it's up there.
Yeah.
I was looking like the other day. I know the prices are extremely inflated, but like as far as everybody was talking, I think I was going in with the expectation of them being like inflated even more. So I was like, actually, I'm not happy about this. If I got to get more RAM or whatever, I'm not stoked about that proposition. But I was actually like, wow, that's a little more reasonable than like what the conversation has like.
It's starting to go back down.
It's still all
bit.
bullshit. It's still
It's
all
still
bullshit.
horrible.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RAM used to be under
But, like,
$100.
damn!
For
Yeah,
32
exactly.
gigs.
It was like 180 for 16 gigs or something is what I was looking at. I want to say
I'm seeing
180,
some
going down.
200.
I'm seeing some Corsair RAM here for $1,100.
That's
Oh.
because there's no stock and they do that.
Oh my God. This is on the Corsair website. This might be what I have too. I know I have Corsair, the Vengeance.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're saying 2 sticks of 32 gig RAM slots are $1,113.
See, I'm looking at. Are you on Amazon?
No, I'm on the Corsair website.
Oh shit! Because
Yeah.
I'm seeing some Corsair RAM listed this 16 gigs for $140 on Amazon.
Yeah, it might just be depending on. I mean, it might just be an accessibility.
Oh, it's
thing, depending on where
DDR4
you're-
though. That's why it's
Ah.
DDR4. Yeah.
I mean, it might also just vary where you're buying it too. Just from like the actual
Mhm.
website here, you might get it cheaper on Amazon, maybe, or some PC online store might be cheaper. I don't know. This is the first, honestly, of me actually looking into it.
Mm.
I just didn't really. I mean, I gotta double check to see what I got. I'm curious now. Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
people also pay a stupid extra price just to have little lights on their RAM when RAM is just like it's just RAM. It doesn't matter who you
Yep.
buy it from. It's all the same.
True. Got to make it shine, baby. I think my PC came with the plugin where you can pull up just the RAM software and change the colors and how it pulses and all that.
Oh.
I did it once and then I was like, yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I stopped caring about that.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
I mean, honestly, what I'm doing with my PC right now is playing PlayStation 2 games.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah, I think we've all been enjoying this little trip back in time, playing these more retro types of games.
yeah, man. I mean, I think there's something about that time era that's just like, I mean, a lot of it is the enjoyment of just going back in time. I really do think that's the number one component of the enjoyability aspect. But I mean, shit, me and Jabin were playing Underground 2 just like a week and a half ago, and we were like, hey, it's not bad. Like, it aged well for me, and Jabin's like, hey, not bad. So some of
That
these
was my
games,
first time playing it. So
yeah, some of these games, like, I am excited where we're going to go in the future when it comes to recommendations. But obviously, like, we'll be recommending some new games too, probably. But I feel
Mhm.
like there's a lot in the past that we could dig up that we haven't really, none of us have experienced.
Talked a little news. We talked, some industry and some gaming trend type stuff.
I got it.
Anybody got anything else they want to put in?
I have an off the cuff question for you guys.
Oh.
What is a gaming series or franchise that is in your backlog that, like, I'm talking has been in the backlog for like more than 5 years at least, that you would like to get to play at some point? And I'll go first. Mine's the BioShock series.
Oh, wow.
I also need to get to that. I've never played those either.
I played half of the first one for a little bit, and I got distracted. I think this was like probably 7 years ago when I played the first one, and it's just been rotting in my Steam library, all 3 of them.
Same.
So yeah, yeah, maybe that's your answer too if you can't think of one, Javin. Like, I mean,
nah,
yeah, but
it's part of it.
Gotcha.
I've got a lot, but I mean, I'd say the big one that I want to touch base or want to play is the Legend of Heroes series.
Mm-hmm. He wants to play that Trails in the Sky. Yeah, and you got to. I've been recommending that to him for shit. I've been recommending that to him for damn near 5 years now.
And it's close to that, honestly. I love it though. Like, I do love the game. I just, for some reason, I always just end up putting it down for an extended period of time. I don't know why.
It is a very slow burn game.
I enjoy it a lot. It's very unique, like, honestly. So
yeah, that is some of the just best world building in games, in my opinion. But my answer, shoot, probably the biggest like blind spot for me as far as like a series that people would probably like expect me to have played because of all the shit that I otherwise like is Fire Emblem. Dog, I've never finished a Fire Emblem game. Not a one.
Okay.
And I would like to. But it's just, that's daunting. That's a lot of games. And I don't know where to fucking start.
Shoot.
Shit, I gotta go back to the NES. I don't even know if that game's in English.
Probably not.
I feel like people would probably tell you Path of Radiance.
Yeah.
Gambling Man.
I'm sure it's out there. I'm just being a turd.
Is that the GameCube one?
Yeah, it's a GameCube one.
Is that one in English? Maybe that's not even in English. Oh, it is?
It's on Switch too. Their emulator thing in English. So
okay.
It's definitely in English.
Well, not all of us got a Switch 2 for free, so.
You don't know, it's an English release as well.
I know. I'm just.
what you talking for free?
Walmart.
We can't. Don't be getting yourself. You're gonna get.
True.
Dude, you're gonna get a cease and desist.
Walmart's gonna kill me.
Oh. I see.
Hey, I didn't do anything. I did not do anything at all.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, you got a receipt. You paid. You got a receipt.
I do have a receipt.
The statute of limitations is some. I don't know.
I wouldn't
move
know.
on from that topic.
Well, shoot.
Okay, I'll do one question. How about we all do one question? I know it's asking a lot to like, hey, come up with a question on the off the cuff jabbing, but
I'll think. It's all good.
Pressure creates diamonds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Big Henny, because I already asked Javin this, but I'll open the floor up to him after. What is your favorite like story in a video game? Like through a series or just in one title, either way.
Here's one, and I need to fully finish this game all the way through because it's interesting how you get the full story, and I haven't done it yet, but I got majority of the story. It's Nier Automata, or how do you pronounce it?
I say Automata.
Automata, okay. I've heard so many different ways people pronounce it. So Nier Automata.
Right.
I have played through that game back in the day 3 times because every time you progress through and beat it, it adds more to the story that you're getting from maybe a different perspective or a different character. And I think what's the character I was on? I was in the middle of my 3rd playthrough, and you're the is it A5 battle mech? Or what's the character? Do you guys remember the characters? It's A something.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it A9 or something? I don't know. I'll figure it out. You keep going.
I really, really was liking the themes and the what that story had cooking for that game. I thought it was very interesting. Kind of like a big moral uh situation going on with that game. That's the first thing that came up on my mind, that to where, and I've been thinking about it recently, of just like, that would be cool for stream at some point, just to like just fully go through and beat that game, and then I can just start on the second release as well for that game as well, because I own it and I haven't even touched that one. So Nier Automata's my
It's
answer.
A2. A2 is the third character's name.
Oh, A2. Okay. Got you.
Yep.
Man, A2 got it going. But that's my personal preference. That's all I gotta say. You know, we got some what is it, B2? What's the main characters?
2B.
So you got
2B.
Yeah, 2B. 9S is where I was getting the 9 from, and then you got A2, which is the third one.
Yeah. Personal preference, A2. Just saying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Javin, what is your favorite story in a video game?
And what's your
know.
preference?
I don't even remember what I answered you. I mean, I think honestly, I've always just really liked the Kingdom Hearts story, even though it's extremely
Yeah, that's
convoluted.
what you said the other day.
That's what I thought I said. So, yeah, I've always loved the Kingdom Hearts lore.
Yeah, you actually, back to Nier Automata, man. That is one of my favorite like moments of like storytelling in a video game. Is when you're doing your first playthrough playing as 2B, and you like go into that underground area under the sand, and there's like all the robots like trying to like basically like they're like playing pretend human.
Yep.
And like you're watching, like there's like one of them that's like got like a crib and is like swinging a baby around.
Yeah.
And like, there's some just like raw dogging on the ground, and like it's like wow, like just walking in there and just seeing that and like being like, what the hell is going? And then being like, oh, they're trying to be people. Like
right.
That was like a very powerful moment in that game for me.
Man, that game is so awesome. I tried replaying it a little bit and got distracted again. I gotta lock in and play through that whole game, because I mean, even the mechanics in that game's beautiful, to where you can remove like memory slots out of your RAM to remove maybe HUD stuff or whatever, to put in powerful like upgrades for whatever character you're playing, but like whatever you put into your memory slots come at a cost. So maybe you got to remove a map or some HUD item, or maybe some strength to put more HUD shit on your game. Like that game is super unique.
I need to play that game. That sounds cool.
And I think there's like it would be hard for me to explain. There's something crazy about that game too. I think Jerry spoils endings sometimes. So I think that's what I was thinking. That is my brain. I don't even remember which is good. Jerry got to watch a video essay before he pushes a play button.
Yeah. Disrespectful.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you though on the Kingdom Hearts story. It is. What does kind of piss me off though is like how much of the story the like side games require, like actually convey in Kingdom Hearts. Like there is no side games. The fucking mobile game that you can't even play anymore, that was only released in Japan, that's a main story as far as I'm concerned. Like if there's actual stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 that sets up, that like you may be like, what the fuck?
I mean that mattered in the like Kingdom Hearts 3 events, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like that there is no such thing. If you see like if they do a Kingdom Hearts crossover with like Frosted Flakes or something before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, you better buy that damn box, because I guarantee you there's going to be important story information on that sumbitch, okay?
Oh.
Because Tony the Tiger is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4, I guarantee it.
Organization 13, Tony the Tiger? What's his name going to be?
Tonix.
Onyx, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that. That's his nobody, yep.
I mean, still, boys, that's a franchise I haven't even touched yet. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Because even between me and Jabin, I think there's some very we could have a little bit of a heated discussion. I think me and Javin could about like our preferences about the different Kingdom Hearts games and such.
Because that's a diehard fan base, bro.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you were between a certain age bracket when those games, like when Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were coming out, I mean, that shit had it put a hard lock on you, bro. It put a hard lock on you.
Bro, all I'll say is every time I went into the movie store, we had a local one that wasn't like Blockbuster or Hollywood Films. It was named something different and peculiar, but it got replaced by a police station. And
Damn.
I would go in there and I'd always see these Kingdom Hearts games on display, specifically the second one. And I'd hold it up and just be, man, fuck this GameCube. like I wanted to play them so bad as a kid.
Dude, I said the same about the PS2. Like whenever I saw GameCube covers.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, that I was like that all the time looking at these game covers, and I was just like, man, Kingdom Hearts looks like that would have been that would have been my game as a kid if I had a PS2, most likely, because I was like idolizing looking at this covers, but like, man, this sucks. But I got Wario World, I guess.
Oh no! Fuck.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it does. Well, I'll get to him eventually. Before I die, I'll play him. How about that?
Yep.
But what's yours, user? What's your?
It's the Trails games that Javin brought up a second ago. That game, there's shit. I want to say they're up to 13 or 14 games in that series. And each of them, like, it's not like Final Fantasy where you can play Final Fantasy 13 and it's its own standalone thing. Like, every single one of those games builds on the one that came before it, and like there's lots of like kind of allusions and parallels to like real world like political conflicts and historical stuff in there. It's so incredibly like smartly written, and it has really great just an amazing cast of characters, wonderful music, very cool villains as well. It's all shit that I just eat up.
Okay.
Snack on that. So, if you haven't, Trails in the Sky for the PSP, but you can get like the remastered version with some like quality of life stuff. You can get that on Steam. That's a great place to start. If you want something a little bit more modernized, then Trails of Cold Steel is sort of like a soft reboot. It's technically game number 6 in the series, but it kind of picks up at its own sort of starting point that eventually connects back in, but it's a good starting point. So either of those games are really, really dope.
Okay. Boys, we need to add a list of games to like our chat or whatever that we should want others to experience, at least just so we can wish list it on our Steam so we can find the discount.
Bro, I got these big. It's not even gonna pick it up. But I've got these like giant box set versions of the game. I collect these. I buy the deluxe editions whenever the games come out because I fucking love this series so much.
Okay.
I gotta know what's gonna happen.
They are cool. They look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a physical collector, but
yes.
Yeah, I would like to do that. Because I've been seeing a lot of retro video game stores pop up on my TikTok feed a little bit recently. It's been getting me inspired to add more to my GameCube and my PS2 collection that I do already have. But it would just be for show. But, maybe we could fill in some space on the CIA kill room up in near, decorate, put some video games up here for show.
You know what? I'll have to remind me you said that, because I know a cool spot where you can find some real weird shit, like in that type of vein, like stuff like, because you could just go to you could just go to Vintage Stock and load up a crate and put that on the wall and call it a day, But if you want to find some weird shit you ain't gonna see in no Vintage Stock, you come along with me. I'll take you a couple places.
Okay? Yeah. Well, hey, I'm about to buy a gorilla couch back there. Like, the gorilla couch is gonna be somewhere. I think that would be a nice addition. But
Well, Jabin, you got a question for us?
I can't think of anything except for like something like a little more specific, I guess.
Hmm.
What's your all's favorite MMO?
Favorite MMO? I have like a okay. I have like a real answer, and then I have like a a weird answer. So my real answer is probably WoW. I mean, that's the one I put the most hours into. I think I have no interest in playing the game anymore whatsoever, but I remember it so fondly in a lot of ways that I do get the urge sometimes where I'm like, bro, I just need to log in and see what's going on in Azeroth. I just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Especially like whenever a new classic expansion comes out and shit like that. But yeah, it's probably WoW. But if you want like a real deep cut answer, we were talking about like fan projects for games and stuff. And I was talking about this with Henny the other day. Jabin, have you ever heard of a website called Pokemon Crater?
I have not. I don't think.
Bro, dude, when I was like 8 years old, okay, I found this website called like PokemonCrater.com. And this has not existed for literally 15 years. So like, don't try and go to that website. Somebody might have some like malware and shit on there. That's none of my business. If you try to go to that website today and you get it, that's not on me. Don't blame me. Okay, because that shit's defunct as far as I know. But it was this very cool like browser based Pokemon game where like you could walk around different like maps. There was like a volcano area. All the towns from the games were areas. Um, and like you could each square you walked onto with your guy would like generate a random encounter with a Pokemon, or you would find an item or like something would happen. And you could see other players like that were playing at the same time walking around too. And you could like chat and you could battle each other. And they added like there were like some like fake mon and stuff that if you had those, like you had grinded the fuck out of the game and you were like the coolest dude on the planet, especially if you had the shiny like fake mon, edgelord Yu-Gi-Oh dragon at the bottom. Like that was the strongest Pokemon in the game. You were cooking if you had that. But like me and my cousin used to fucking we'd be grinding on this Pokemon Crater browser game, man. We were like making teams. This was our Pokemon Showdown random battles, back in the day. It was like we'd be making teams and shit on that.
I just looked up a video and I actually like I'm looking at like the map with the characters and stuff. I totally remember this and I totally have played this. I don't think I put like any surmountable amount of hours in it, but yeah, I do remember this now that you mentioned it.
So that's probably like if you want to talk like some real deep nostalgia, that is probably my favorite MMO of all time. Is that?
It's fair.
I got a question before I throw my answer out. Is Roblox an MMO?
I would say so, yeah. But it's just a collection of multiple games, so it's like
yeah,
it's an MMO. It's not necessarily an MMORPG, but it's it's got the massively multiplayer online part of it for sure.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why that just kind of infiltrated my brain when the question was asked, but I was like, man, Roblox is that an MMO or not? Nah, I mean, I didn't grow up. Well, I tried to play World of Warcraft as a kid, but I will say World of Warcraft because we played it all together recently. But man, I remember getting the bundle box set of base game and Burning Crusader at Walmart for my birthday. My real dad got it for me, and bro, trying to download that shit off fucking dial up. It's like what that had to have been Windows XP at the time, probably. Oh man, like my stepdad was pissed when I came back, I mean, I think it was on like hour 8 of downloading, and
you're holding up the phone.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah, man, bro. I remembered my stepdad being like, "Look, you're trying to poison my computer. We're taking it back to Walmart." And so I think I remembered it was like 45 or $50 back in the day. And I think bro, I think I just got like 2 toys or something. Like that yeah. But World of Warcraft, I'd say it's the only one I really ever played. I tried RuneScape and failed. And um I think I remember Jerry back in the day trying to say, "Hey man, Guild Wars 2 is where it's at." And then I don't think that sentence was ever uttered again. um
I played some
That's
Guild
alright.
Wars 1 back in the day. I fucked with it. There was like some cool. There was like a one of the classes like used a scythe, and I thought that was cool when I was 11. So I was about that, but I don't remember a ton about the game if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But I remembered hearing about all the MMOs coming out like back in the day, and the only one I knew was World of Warcraft. But dude, if I got World of Warcraft when I was a kid that age, I wouldn't know what to fucking do. I would have just been walking
Yeah,
around, barely even getting the questing done. I would have been, I was playing
yeah,
baby games
bro.
my whole life, man.
You'd have been like me. I feel like as a kid, the like first time I started playing WoW, I'm pretty sure I spent like 98 hours in the Barrens because my first character was a Tauren. And God, that it's a wonder I wanted to keep playing the game because that zone fucking sucks. If you start as
Yeah.
a Tor, that's an awful starting zone. And then to go from there into the Barrens, I was just running around for I didn't know what the fuck to do. Shit, like I'd get mogged by some level 23 elite or something, and be just like, what is this dragon dinosaur beast coming down from the sky on me about, dude? But I spent so many hours probably at the Barrens. I don't think I ever made it past there. I might have been level 48 in the Barrens. I couldn't tell you.
See, the funny thing about that is like I only played it I only played WoW like on a friend's computer at one point
Mm,
because my parents would never pay for it. So but I remember just being obsessed with like the starting areas of characters. So I would just create new characters. Like this was like Burning Crusade days. And like I would
mhm.
if I actually ever made it to like, the main capital, I would just like not know what to do. So I just like, all right, time for a new character. I just love the
Yep.
starting zones.
You were treating WoW like a roguelike. I first played WoW on a friend's computer as well because his dad gamed on it, and this was during Burning Crusade times, and I like my first character that I played was a blood elf that I made on his computer on his account. Um, and then like I got the game for myself, and I was like, "Yo, I don't have this expansion. I can't play a blood elf. I wanted to play a blood elf. I wanted to make my same guy that I had made and like continue my role playing adventure." And instead, I was like, "I got to make a fucking cow man. This is stupid." Because I don't have $20. You're kidding me.
I'm trying to find this old tweet from like an ex Blizzard dev who used to be on an EverQuest guild, like
But while you're doing
emailing
that,
to like the company, and it's like the most toxic email like ever sent. And I can't
Mm,
find it.
while you're searching for that, I'll give my answer. I I think it might be a little surprising that I wouldn't say RuneScape, but I do really enjoy RuneScape for the matter. Or WoW. But I think the one that I have to rightfully say, just because of the amount of time and memories I have from the game, is Tibia.
mm.
I used to love that game, and it's really gone in a direction that just is not good at all. So, but I love that game. I played that game forever. I played private servers of Tibia forever. Like, the game is awesome. Does not hold up for
Yeah, I could
now.
never get
I
into
would
it.
not recommend anybody actually play that as a new game. I don't think it would hold up for pretty much anybody. So
Mm.
Mm. I tried getting into it back in the day. It wasn't doing a ton for me. Because even at the time, I was like, bro, if I want this, I'll just play RuneScape. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that was kind of how I felt about it. But there is still I like the idea of like you have to like you have to type in your spells into chat like you're doing a vocal
I love that
component
about
of
it too.
them. That is really cool. There's shit that I find very interesting about it, but just the whole package didn't really gel for me. But man, I would try just about any. Man, when you grow up poor, you be
Dude,
looking for like the
free
if
MMOs.
anything that was free. Man, I was playing like the shittiest like free to play like
Yup.
FPS games that were just nonsense. And if you put like $5 into the server donation, you got like infinite ammo type shit. Like it's what it felt like. Like really, these people would just be. It was just no balance. Bro, I found like. I remember when I had the realization that I was like, I just need to stop, bro. This is when I started like emulating games. Was when I was like with my mom. We were like we'd gone down to visit my aunt or something that like lived kind of far away or something, and we stopped at it was like a truck stop or like a gas. But I bought a fucking gas station $5 MMO. And it was like the shittiest like generic fantasy. It like basically was trying to rip off WoW, because it was like
Classic.
there was like very industrial like goblins that were like all polluting the area and everything, and then there was like scantily clad elf women with bows and arrows trying to stop them. And I was like, "It's $5, Mom. You got to buy this for me. I got to play this." And then I played it. And it was like, this is the worst shit I've ever touched in my life. It's so bad. I was like, I can't be looking for these cheap. It's like you gotta go whole hog, or you gotta just sit it out. And I'm like, I'm just gonna sit it out, and I'm gonna get NES games on my PC through an emulator, and that's how I'm gonna be from now on. Because like, if it's tough out there being poor, bro, I guess is the moral of the story. You end up playing the worst MMO of all time.
I used to always go to YouTube and type in like top free MMOs and just like look at videos of them trying to find one to play. Like I did play a lot of free MMOs, at least tried them.
Mhm.
So unless they were like
Yeah.
a big download, then I was like, I don't want to wait for that. So
Yeah, I couldn't find anything about this tweet. So, but what I do know is this Blizzard lead dev for Overwatch, his name is Jeff. He was on a
Jeff
podcast.
Kaplan?
Yeah, he was on a podcast with I forget his name, but he's like monotone as fuck, wearing a suit every episode. But I did see just a funny tweet here of just what I could find is just Jeff's advice to people who complain about video games they refuse to play: shut the fuck up, no one cares. So it's good to see
Based.
some some just true to the heart like responses, because sometimes gamers gotta tone down a little bit. I do agree with that. At the end of the day, they are video games, but I mean, it's something we're passionate about, so I mean, there's leeway to some of it, but
Mhm.
yeah, y'all feel me.
For sure.
I mean, some people's favorite MMO, speaking on just what you guys are saying, I think almost everybody might have at least tried Club Penguin or Wizard 101.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask that question to the masses, they can't really get away from it because they've at least played one.
But did you ever try Pirates of the Caribbean Online? Because that was dog ass.
No.
That was pretty bad. I did play it though.
Did not know that was a thing.
Like some Toontown on them.
Any MMO, man. I tried a lot of them. I liked Toontown. I like Toontown a lot.
Yeah, I like Toontua as well.
But it's too
Toontua?
expensive.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be doing a deep dive trying to find this shitty gas station MMO from back in the day tonight. I'm gonna be going down a
I don't
rabbit
envy
hole.
you.
Gas station MMO is
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Like the fact that you played a
I
gas
swear
station
to God,
MMO.
man.
Like, yo,
I
this
swear to
bug was
God,
right
bro.
next to the horny goat weed, man. Like, shit.
It was that type of shit. It was.
Oh, that's crazy. So you got an MMO and like some Kit Kats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. But yeah,
Probably got a Balls Energy. I feel like it was around the same time that was popping off.
Bro, the amount of times I wanted to just hang myself hearing kids just drink balls because the name of the drink was balls. They're like, dude, balls is where it's at. And we're in gym class suffering running the fucking pacer test. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, that and cocaine.
that
Do you
was
remember
just-
cocaine?
I do. I never had a cocaine energy drink.
Spicy
Um,
energy drink.
But I will say part of the reason that it wasn't just because of the name, but the name was funny. But there was this place in the town that I grew up in called the Battleground, and it was only around for a couple of years, but it was like an internet cafe, like that somebody had like made in small town Missouri, and it made no sense for this to exist. Like it's no wonder it shut down. But you walked in, there was 3 PS3s and 3 Xbox 360s with TVs like all along one wall, and then there was just like 12 different like gaming PCs set up like on like in these little cubbies throughout the rest of the thing. And it was just like this little like arcade internet cafe, like you could go hang out, and they had like games, you know, locked and loaded. And so like, you know, you go play Halo 3 if you didn't have an Xbox or whatever.
Play WoW. You could play WoW.
Yeah, or play WoW. Yeah, there was all kinds of shit. So like, you know, me and my homies would hang out there, and they had like soda, but if you wanted like an energy drink, I'm pretty sure the only one they had was Balls. They had the glass bottles with the little fucking ribbed for her pleasure bottles, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And and yeah, no, so I'd be sipping those because that's what they had there. But
Okay, so it was just, you know, that's what was there. Like you didn't have a choice.
Yep.
But interesting. I remember playing games. Did you guys ever have like the mobile library? It was just like a weird bus. What was it called? It's like the Cass County Book Bus or some shit.
Doxed us.
Yeah. True. But man, I remembered playing some computer games on that bus. Like I think all the Flash games from the Cartoon Network website were crazy good back in the day. I don't know if you guys knew about, like, did you guys grow up on Flash games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like all the Cartoon Network Flash games went crazy.
Pop Tropica.
You stole the words out of my mouth. Pop Tropica was crazy.
Or that was the MMO or whatever. I'm talking like just Postopia. That they had such good games on there.
And was it Cool Math Games?
Yep.
Cool Math Games too.
Yep.
And
Bro,
honest to God,
Cartoon Network, they used to have some crazy games too.
They did.
And I'm thinking about doing this on stream at some point because I have them all in my Steam library. I remember playing Pajama Sam on my home computer.
Oh yeah.
So, man, how many Pajama Sam games do I have? I think there's like fucking 5 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pajama Sam games.
In his bank account.
That's so gas.
I wish. Well, shoot. User, would you like to close us out of here? I'm gonna have a lot of post editing.
Bro, I'm 3 pages deep into like MMOs from the 2000s right now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm trying to find this shit. I have got to find this bullshit MMO, bro. It's got to happen. But yeah, I was actually gonna say though we should probably wrap up because you know this was supposed to just be a little bite-sized kind of experience of an episode, but we've been at it about damn near 2 hours now. So
that's the issue with Shop Talk. It can go forever, which I mean I'm fine with. I'm totally.
Oh no, yeah, I was having a great time. Yeah,
yeah.
I think we were getting into some stuff. I think the questions at the end were very, very, very fun for all of us. Took us down some weird places, some memory holes. Like I said, I'm currently plugged into one right now, trying to find this stupid, shitty ass game. I swear to God, I know I probably sound like I'm telling tales, but let me tell you, there was a gas station MMO and I played it. And if anybody listens to this, please, even if it's 4 years from now or something, and you remember playing the MMO you bought at the gas station for $5 on disc with the goblin engineer pollution people and the foresty, hippie elves on the other side, and they're locked in eternal struggle. Okay, if you remember this, please sound off in the comments, please. And while you're commenting, make sure to like and subscribe to the video. We appreciate it. It's free and it helps us immensely. It keeps us doing this thing for you and for us. Because, we have a lot of fun doing it too. And tune in probably, a week and a half from the maybe 2 weeks from the upload of this video. There's going to be the next episode where we talk about Tony Hawk's Underground and where we talk about Pokemon Black and White. So you're definitely going to tune in for that. We got some hot takes. We got some ideas. We got some experiences. I might have had the worst time of my life, but if you want to know about it more, you're going to have to check out the full episode. So thanks for rocking with us. Peace, love, and good games, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. For the strange man who knows of that dystopia of the gas station MMO, please help us out.
Save me.